going to talk about my Zeiss Ikon Contaflex models. These are some solid, very tank-like cameras, and they're quite nice. Zeiss Ikon, made in Germany, and they have the nice Zeiss Ikon logo, typically on the back and on the front, and Contaflex is there. These are the Synchro Compor insides that are built in with Carl Zeiss lenses, and so this is the Contaflex IV, and this is one of the later models. It has a built-in selenium light meter that still works. It has a 50mm 2.8 lens that's fixed, you cannot remove it, and it has the focus, these nice little focus switches here, and it also has a self-timer, and if you look, here are the settings for aperture and shutter speed here. I have noticed that if you put it in the red, you line up the reds, that's sort of like automatic. And if you open the light meter by pushing side button, you can see the light meter is fairly reactive. And so it takes no batteries. And here we can, this is basically just to adjust the aperture, shutter speed. So it's like you can see the little circle moving, just so you can try to get it correct. And then the inner circle is sort of like to help you match with the speed of the film, the ISO, and it's kind of difficult to move, but you can move it there, and it kind of lines up. I'm not sure if this actually does anything on the inside, but I think it does. Of course, in this you pull up to rewind your film, and this is how you advance the film, and then the shutter button is right there with a screw for a wired shutter, and you would push that. This one I actually have some film loaded in, so I don't want to tinker around with it too much. I can't open it up, but you would release it by pulling these up, turning them, popping the back off. Here's the rewind button right here, so you don't accidentally rewind your film. You push that and then you can rewind it. It disengages the lock. And this one is fairly clear on the inside. Let's see if we can look in it. Not a lot of fungus, which a lot of these models do have. You can also see in the front of it the nice SLR. This one's in really good shape. And I believe this one is the leather case it came in. The straps tend to rot quite quickly, and all the Zeiss Ikon camera cases have a slim leather strap, and this is a nice brown leather with the logo. It's a sort of it's a really nice retro case. It's in fairly good shape. This one's the Contaflex II, and the one in the 2 had this flower-like daisy focus wheel. And again, all of these have the leaf shutter inside of them. And this one has self-timer, and has, you know, the other controls here as well. This one has a light meter, and the same things here. It's a selenium light meter, and it's working still. You can rewind. And this one has no film in it, so I'm going to open this one up. And this one, as you turn it, it's keeping track of the film here. And so when you turn it, you see it spin and spin, and now it's on 6. And here we have the same. Here's, you adjust the shutter speed, and then you have the inside dial with the DIN and the ASA in there. And then rewind. And of course there's a rewind button there, and this one will open up. Slide off the back. The back actually is, on some of these, it is leather. I'm not sure if this one is leather. It feels like it's leather. They have glued leather on the bottom. Here we have the pin that's released with the take-up reel. This one just slides in and out, and you hook the film there. And then we can rewind it. The release button would have pushed this, so you can pull the pin back. You just push it once. And there's the inside of it. It's fairly clean. Put that down. And I'm going to take a picture. We'll watch it drops down. And then it will spring up. And you can see the leaf shutter, it's still in great working condition, but you can feel when you crank it, you can feel that plate move down. And then, let's see if I can make it open up a little bit longer. So this one's in is pretty good shape. It has the cold shoe plate screwed on, which I could take off if I wanted to. It has sort of that automatic mode. If you line the reds up, you get the automatic mode. Selenium meter. Take-up wheel. And I'm just going to slide this back on. All these cameras were considered bottom loading. And I'll lock this on again. I also have the lens adapters that are, these are the Proxar set, and these will fit on some of the cameras and give you sort of a, this one has the 45mm Carl Zeiss 2.8 lens, but with these, this one is, it tells you what you should use with it. And we have 0.2 meters, 0.3 meters, 0.5, and 1 meter. So for close-ups. And they fit right on there. They're actually in really good shape. And the case has a lovely cheap thing on it. And this is by Zeiss Ikon as well. And this is the Contaflex Super. This is the S-Matic, and again, it's this one's it's quite a bit heavier than the others. It has a selenium meter that still works, and it has some features I really haven't played around, but you can change the film type on here, negative film, if you're using flash, bulb, others, infrared, that's there. You can pull that up. A little crank to rewind. It has the nice advanced lever, and then to take the picture, you just push that down. And this is you can manually move where your pictures are. If you have, I don't know, 24 exposures or 36 exposures, you manually move this wheel to keep track of it. And here you can see we have some plugins for the bulb and here is the shutter speed, and this one has quite a bit more going on to the hand focus. And it will lock you out if you're not in the right mode. It will not let you advance or change things, which is sort of helping you out a little bit. Let's look at it. These have easier to use levers. Some of these are locked. You push them in and you can change them. And here we have a different long exposure. And this has the 50mm 2.8 Tessar lens. So I'm going to open this up. Twist. Pull this off. I don't believe this one has a leather back. It's probably most likely plastic. And then on the inside we have the same as the other on the inside, the take-up wheel, and the release button is on the bottom here. And you see we have some icons here on the side, which are, if you're in the wrong mode, it will lock it. It's actually kind of difficult to actually move this, but let's crank this. Flops down. Notice it doesn't close. It closes at an angle. It doesn't close flat like the other ones. And I can open that up. It still has a very nice response, and it's a very well made camera. Lock these back in there. There we go. And this one has the light meter on the outside. It is selenium, but it has a window that's there. A lot of people think that for this particular model it's broke, it's not working. It turns out you need to have it in sort of auto mode for that to work. And I'm going to put it in auto mode. Let's see if we can get the light meter working. Crank the film. And I'm trying to get it to work, and it's being temperamental. But I have gotten it to work. And really, again, I'm not doing it right, so anyway, but this is the nicer one. This one has a really nice front on it. And of course you can't take the lens off, but the lens they put on this one, the 50mm, is pretty good for a range of things. This one's in great shape. The case for this one, actually the straps are intact and they're rather pliable, but I found that the straps for these tend to be about as strong as cardboard. You can tear it quickly, so it's not the best. But anyway, those are my 3 Contaflex cameras.